The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum, Deuteronomy chapter 24. When a man hath taken a wife, and gone unto her, if she hath not favour in his eyes, because he findeth a thing that is wrong in her, then he may write her a bill of divorce before the court of justice, and put it into her power, and send her away from his house. And departing from his house, she may go and marry another man. But should they proclaim from the heavens about her that the latter husband shall dislike her, and write her a bill of divorce, and put it into her power to go from his house, or should they proclaim about him that the latter husband shall die, it shall not be in the power of the first husband, who dismissed her at the beginning, to return and take her to be with him as his wife, after that she hath been defiled. For that is an abomination before the Lord. For the children whom she might bear should not be made abominable, or the land which the Lord your God giveth you to inherit become obnoxious to the plague. When a man hath taken a new wife, a virgin, shall not go forth with the army, lest anything evil befall him. He shall be at issue in his house 1 year, and rejoice with his wife whom he hath taken. A man shall not take the milestones, lower or upper, as a pledge, for they are necessary in making food for everyone. The Jerusalem text says, you shall not take the upper and lower milestones for a pledge, for the pledge is a necessity of life. I just want to pause there. The upper and the lower millstones, not milestones. That's what was used to grind the wheat or the barley or the corn to make flour. So you weren't allowed to pledge them because everybody needed them. Without them you'd die. Neither shall a man join bridegrooms and brides by magical incarnations, for what would be born of such would perish. Jerusalem text says, nor shall there be unlawful conjoinments of bridegrooms and brides, for what such produce is denied the life of the world to come. Then a man is found stealing a person of the brethren of the sons of Israel, making merchandise of him, and selling him. That man shall die by strangulation with the napkin, and you shall put away the evildoer from among thee. Take heed that you cut not into flesh, in which there is an ulcer, but make careful distinction between the plague of leprosy and ulceration, between the unclean and clean, according to all that the priests of the tribe of Levi shall teach you. Whatever they prescribe to you, be observant to perform. Be mindful that no one contemn his neighbour, lest he be smitten. Remember that which the Lord your God did to Miriam. He contemned Moshe for that which was not in him, when she was smitten with leprosy, and you were delayed in the way when coming out from Mizraim. When a man hath lent anything to his neighbour upon a pledge, he shall not enter into his house to take his pledge. He shall stand in the street, and the man to whom thou hast made the loan shall bring out the pledge to thee into the street. If the man be poor, thou shalt not have his pledge all night with thee. As the sun goeth down, thou shalt return the pledge, that he may lie in his garment and may bless thee, and to thee it shall be righteousness. For the sun shall bear the witness of thee before the Lord thy God. Jerusalem, thou shalt certainly return the pledge to him as the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his garment and may bless thee, and to thee it shall be righteousness before the Lord thy God. You shall not be hard upon your neighbours, or shift, or decrease the wages of the needy and poor hireling of the brethren, or of the stranger who sojourneth in your land, in your cities. In his day thou shalt pay him his hire, nor let the sun go down upon it, because he is poor, and he hopes for that hire to sustain his life, lest he rebel against thee before the Lord, and it be guilty in thee. Jerusalem, you shall not wilfully keep back the wages of the poor and needy of your brethren. In his day thou shalt pay his wages, nor let the sun go down upon them, for he is poor, and by means of his hire he sustaineth his life, that he may not cry against thee before the Lord. So beware that it become not guilt in you. Fathers shall not die either by the testimony or for the sin of the children, and children shall not die either by the testimony or for the sin of the fathers. Everyone shall die by proper witness for his own sin. Thou shalt not warp the judgment of the stranger, the orphan, or the widow, nor shall any one of you take the garment of the widow for a pledge, that evil neighbours rise not, and bring out a bad report against her when you return her pledge unto her. And remember that you were bondservants in the land of Mizraim, and that the word of the Lord your God delivered you from thence. Therefore have I commanded you to observe this thing. When you have reaped your harvest in your fields, and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not return to take it. Let it be for the stranger, the orphan, and the widow, that the word of the Lord your God may bless you in all the works of your hands. When you beat your olive trees, you shall not search after them, or you have done it for the stranger, the orphan, and widow. Let it be. Jerusalem, when you beat your olive trees, search them not afterward. Let them be for the stranger, the orphan, and the widow. When you gather in your vineyard, you shall not glean the branches after you. They shall be for the stranger, the orphan, and the widow. Jerusalem, when you gather your vines, search not their branches afterwards. Let them be for the stranger and the widow. So remember that you were bondservants in the land of Mizraim. Therefore I command you to do this thing. Praise be his name.